The UK and the EU have different priorities for the upcoming Brexit negotiations. The UK would like to negotiate the terms of its exit and the free trade agreement simultaneously, whereas the EU thinks that it should happen in two stages. First, they should negotiate Britain's financial commitments to the EU. They should also negotiate the situation of EU citizens living in the UK and British citizens living in the EU, and then negotiate the free trade agreement. So these discrepancies will create some early tensions between the parties. Brexit will affect the EU in many ways. The countries will have to negotiate what the EU's budget looks like without the UK's contributions. They will also have to decide what the security and defense framework looks like in Europe without the UK in the bloc. And they will also have to find a new balance of power, because now that the UK is out, northern European countries fear that the balance of power could move in the direction of southern European countries. But most importantly, the remaining 27 EU members will have to decide what the future EU will look like. We have seen recent talks about a multi-speed Europe in which some countries develop further cooperation faster than others, but this is still at a very early stage. Brexit is very important because for the first time in 60 years, the taboo of a country leaving the European Union has been broken. Eurosceptics and Europhiles alike will be watching the process very closely, because the UK will create for the first time a roadmap for countries leaving. So in the long run, it's a very important political event and a very important political development that everybody, both pro and anti-EU forces, will be watching closely. Of course, the EU has more immediate things to worry about. There will be elections in key Eurozone countries like France, and at some point in the future in Italy as well, and Eurosceptic parties will perform very strongly. So even if Brexit is a very important issue, it's not as urgent in the EU agenda as other more immediate events.